Hello, van life people, family, friends, anybody who's being a nomad or a sojourner, as I like to say, or if maybe if you're just taking a vacation. Isn't that pretty? That's our trees in Washington State. Look at that beautiful sky. It is cold as all get out today. It is partially sunny. But I did tell you I would invite you on in today. Now, before we go in, I didn't get a chance to actually straighten up. So I'm going to let you know that right off the bat. And Lola's bed is a mess, and she keeps tearing up her blankets because that's what doggies do. We just got back from a walk. This is such a pretty time of day, though. It's like 4 o'clock here. And we are in Washington State, if you're wondering. So it's about 50 degrees. I love this. It's so beautiful. This is like my favorite time of day. I like what's called the golden hour. But right now it's the windy golden hour. So we're going to head on in. I got to stay behind the music studio today because I had to do some work in there today. Well, look who's there with her messy blankets. See, she digs in there to make, like, you know how dogs dig to get in there? Well, that's what she does. So I'm going to have a little tricky time getting in only because I brought these books here. And then come to find out I really don't need them. So I'm going to have to take them back into the studio. So I will do that when we're done with our tour. I didn't want to put the camera on me because I wanted you to see. So I'm going to step up into the van. There we go. And it's going to be a little bit weird right now because I am trying to hold the phone and get in and climb over these books that now I find out I really don't need for tonight. I thought I did, but I don't. So, because I have a student normally on Sunday nights that is long distance, but we're not doing anything tonight. So, anyway, I'm sitting on a seat trying not to fall off while I pull a door. So there she is in all her splendor and with her messy blankets. Kind of like everything's going to look like that, a little bit tore up from the floor up. Just letting you know. Me, when I get in, because I haven't quite figured out how to work this yet, and Minivan Lee had said you're going to tweak everything about 30 times before you figure it out. Probably, because I put my gym bag in the front here, and then in came a shipment of these things, and I don't know right now where I want to put them. They're very important because they're pickle juice, and I know that sounds weird, but pickle juice shots for me work for my legs if I get leg cramps. Hence, I need to have them. Anyway, so what I usually have to do is swing my legs over this big messy pile, and I just added more messy piles to here, so because I just got some extra empty bags. Yay me. But that's because I put stuff in the studio. Don't carry a lot of extras because you're not going to need them. I had to take the garbage out, though. I already did that. So hooray for me. And you're going to get to see the potty and everything. So going back into the cave there, I have the curtains. I think we've talked about this before. And I always hang, you know, a jacket over there. I have a pillow here to sit behind. I have it sit behind me. All right, let's go for a walk. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Everybody ready for the cave? It's like a cave. It doesn't stay that way. It's so dark. Boo. Here's the sweatshirts that I just hang the hoods on the back and one up there because I have extra. You know, if I didn't work, maybe I wouldn't have so much clothes, but I feel like I have to have it. Ooh, look. There's something up there. All right, let me. So like I said, my friend really liked it because she was like, hey, I've never really been in one of these up close. And unfortunately, it's not neat because things fell over today, which they're going to do for a while until I figure out how to secure everything. So as I come in, straight ahead is the big bed. I have those baskets hanging up there because I have clothes in them. Now, does it bother me or touch my feet or anything? No, it doesn't. So where the pink robe is and the pajama bottoms, that's of course the foot of my bed. And I just climb up on that bed, lay down. Lola usually goes in that big, I'll show you, in the bed. Now, it's dark when you first walk in, but it's not going to stay dark because I do have a motion light thing here. And that's automatically going to go on. So over here, I'm going to keep that rope on because I notice it just stabilizes everything. Makeup table, right? So candles for the evening. and it's light, right? Makeup stuff in there. Come across, there's the mirror. I actually bought a light up mirror too because I found the lighting needed to be better. Books over there. Now, there's clothes in these bins in the corner, okay? And there's clothes also in these cubbies and jewelry in these cubbies, which I'm not going to pull everything out, you know. Now, what is here is my big quilted vest. And I sort of laid it out like that for two reasons. One, I'm going to see how to get the best shot of it. One, because I had brought in a DVD player, and I have DVDs tucked underneath in my little garage, but I'm not using it yet. And then this is a Jackery. Wait a minute, that's at the 1000. That one's fine. There's one over here, the 500, and it died. Completely died. It won't light up, it won't show me anything, display, nothing. I tried the reset that they said to do. Yeah, not working. So what do I do to get light? Well, boop, and then there was light. So I have one of these from Dollar Tree. We have that. And then I usually will light up all these candles. So it's like a, in a softer light, if you will. Got my stuff hanging up there. Pictures of family. Poster with the Lord's, oh Lord, she just jumped from one chair to the other and just knocked everything down again. That's what she does. And then her blankets are all messed up. And then I can't fix them because she won't let me. I have to put her outside and tie her. Anyway, so there's the hats. There's the baskets. There's the bed. So straight ahead is my bed. This is like my focal point because at night when I get in here, I want to be warm. So I have an electric blanket on the top. So this thing here is bought from Amazon, which reminds me, my friend wants to know which kind it was. It's a 12 volt, and see that black cord? That's for it, okay? I have a comforter, and then I have another comforter. And then here's my pillows, and yes, I have kid pillows. And then there is this purple blanket, and I like to lay on it because it's soft. That teddy bear is important to me because my son actually wore that little white outfit when he was dedicated, when he was little in the church. So that's why he's going for a trip with us. So, and then I have my little froggies and my other pillows around me. So I can actually sit up in this bed because the way I've set up the pillows, or I can lay down. Either way, I can just move the pillows around. In the back is still that rod that goes across. It fell once. It hasn't fallen since I used a special tape. So that's up there. What irks me is the lights on the side. I don't know if you can kind of see. They're still hanging, and I fixed them 3 times. They don't have very good backing on them. So if you get those strip light things with the remote, you push it, and it can be green, blue, whatever. And the first time I had it on, I thought it was great, and now it's doing nothing but falling down, and I'm putting tape on the back of it. I don't know what else to do with it. I don't want to do like a permanent glue on the back, but I may have to. My little lighthouse picture, coming around, coming around. That has my special jewelry that I really like, and I have barrettes in there too. So now, and I think we've done this before, so when I come around, there's that fan, Amazon. All right, I have my little table here, which is for my food. Now, here's the thing. Oh yes, my crumble cookie bag, and 1 cookie still left. I only bought 2, guys. So, took me all day yesterday and today to finish eating it. Anyway, so here is how I kept the bottles up. You know, any kind of sports bottle you want to drink out of that you can think of is there. All this is down with that nano tape. If you remember, I showed you that. It's a double-sided tape. That stuff does not move. So I'm not worried. Anything with the nano tape doesn't move. Anything without the nano tape goes crashing on the floor. These are my general meds like Allegra D and stuff like that. So this thing will sometimes slide, sometimes it doesn't. This doesn't stay here, my paper towel, and I don't have a paper towel hanger. So if you guys can think of something, but what I normally do with that, I switch hands so I have a hand free, as we go across the table, is that in the corner, what used to be a hamper contains the ukulele and the guitar. in the corner. I covered it up, stuck it in there. So what I do with the paper towels, I usually just stick it in the corner like this. It stays like that and it doesn't fall down. Now, the goal is, let's get a pole that goes up and down, because somewhere in here my toilet paper fell, because it usually sits on top of that. So, yeah, I'm going to have to find that today. Haha, it's around here. I finally bought this piece just to put in the front of this table, because the drawer kept opening. It doesn't open now. And see that stuff on the floor? That's what drives me nuts. But I don't know quite where to put it, so it's in those longer baskets, those plastic baskets. That's a light, that little red thing. The light goes straight up to the ceiling. Those are shoes that really need to be on the front. And I'm going to do that before we leave our area here. And ta-da, the potty. So that sits on an ottoman. That ottoman inside has all the supplies, the toilet paper, the, you know, whatever is needed for that. The bag that lines that goes on there. So, and, you know, I was worried about it at first, because I thought that's kind of a weird place to have it. I wish this would be over there and that would be over there, but that big brown basket didn't fit, and this took up all this room, so I really can't switch them. So, is it by the food? Well, I don't eat when I'm doing, you know, so it's close, but I'm not using one when I'm doing the other, if that makes sense to you. So usually I only have to use it during the night, if at all. And I haven't been using it that much. So, because I find a potty during the day. So it really doesn't interfere with this, and I don't really want it to, because it's kind of ew, right? So we don't want to do that. But if I have an emergency, hey, it's there. You know, if you gotta go, you gotta go. So I'm just standing in the middle here, in the middle aisle right now. Now, normally I would sit down on this bench that is to my right, but I have to figure out how to move these Jackeries around, because the Jackery 1000 is big. The Jackery 500 is, since it's unalived, I'm going to have to figure out, that's under the jacket, I'm going to have to figure out what to do with it, because it just doesn't work. And I've heard bad things about Jackeries doing that, like never working again. And then other people have them for years and they work. So there is a newer version of the 1000. So here's the 1000, right, that I have. I'm going to get another 1000. I've already ordered it. It's on its way. So you have 2000 watts there. If I can't do something with that, then something's wrong with me, right? So I just want to heat up soup today, and I'm going to try my electric stuff. I took that little bag, and on the outside there is my perfume, because I didn't know where to set it, and it's an odd-shaped bottle. My family goes with me wherever I go, so of course they're there. And, you know, that's still up on the top. So, I mean, nothing has really changed a whole lot, but now that I'm actually in here, I can see, okay, like I hung up the one vest that I like to wear, that green one is hanging up over there, and the quilted one will get its own hook as well. The only thing is right now, I'm just kind of covering up Jackeries for now. That will stop, because I want to sit down on that bench. That is my main seating. I can use the ottoman for seating, and I have. You know, just take the potty down, put it on the floor, sit down, there's a seat. So, I mean, for now, that's what I'm going to do. I think when a person has a build-out, you have cupboards and cabinets that would run the whole length on the top, because that's how they make it, all the way down, instead of like those baskets, right? So you'd have cupboards, and then you'd have like a whole cupboard thing here. And they might even have the bed like to rise up and down. I don't like those electric ones, though. They go, because, you know, they get stuck. Then what do you do, right? I don't want to have an elevator ride, okay, for my bed. So just saying. So, but it's cozy. I mean, it is cozy. It stays pretty warm. I don't have any real complaints, other than I'm learning how to keep things from falling down, go boomsy. So most of this doesn't, though. It really doesn't. It might be the occasional with this. This cutting board does not, because of the backing on it. It doesn't move. I did have a faucet in there that is charged that I wanted to put into the water, but then I'm like, do I really want to take up more room on this? You know, this is all I've got for my food, so do we really want to? Probably not. So the idea was there. See, if I could put like a closet, I was thinking what I want to do maybe is put a like a locker almost right there in that corner, and then the guitar and the ukulele can slide in there, and it might have a shelf then on the top. So if I had like a big rectangle closet, in other words, in that corner, about the same size as that, that stuff would all be in there, locked up and out of the way. So I want to think about that. So instead of having that old hamper there, because that's what that is, just have something that size, but have it more like a locker where it actually opens and closes it. There would be a door on it, and that would clean up that entire corner and that mess. I could still have the potty out here because it wouldn't, you know, the size wouldn't change. So there's a thought. So that's how I go in and out. Now, I took, because I see a lot of people have wood behind the seats and they make this whole big frame, you know, for this doorway. Well, that I don't know how to do. So I've got a bar going across the top, and that's where the curtains are hanging. And I've kind of got the fancy one, but I do have a heavier one that can go over that. Or, by the way I'm doing it, I could just pin the two closed at night. Last night, the dog did not want to go on the big bed. She wanted to stay up in the front, so I didn't want to pin anything shut. So basically, all the windows got covered, and I just didn't turn on very many lights in here, and it got pitch black in here, and that was fine. I went sound asleep. What I do want to do is, because I have these white boards, these boards, they're not wood though. So what they are like those plasticky kind of boards like that you have for when you have something outside. So I want to take off, this one isn't too bad because you can kind of see there's more curtain. The one on this side though, it sticks out further than this. I want to cut off like right about where that pin is and just give myself a little wider space, because I find if I have a jacket on, heavy jacket, which I do right now, and the dog isn't skinny, so she's kind of struggling to force herself through there. So I'm going to cut that off, and that can be cut off with, you can use a knife, you can use scissors, you can, you know, just take some of it off if you're finding that it's a little tight. That's all. It does help though to kind of protect you from this, you know, if anything would go flying, and it doesn't really, because I have so much stuff with that nano tape stuck down. It doesn't go, like none of this stuff moves. None of this glass stuff moves because of that. That is nano tape down. That's nano tape down. The light is not, but it doesn't move because it's got a rubber backing. All those little things there, including the mirror and everything else, well, not the hand soap, but everything else is nano taped down. That was my previous doggie, and she's now going on a journey with us. Those are her ashes, and I wanted to bring Mercedes with us, so hence she's here. She's nano taped down too, though. She ain't going nowhere. So you just have to get creative. I would like it to be less cluttered. So from what I'm understanding, maybe I have too much in here, but I really don't have a way to bring anything other than that. I tried hanging up my clothes, a few of them, on that back rod, because I thought, well, wouldn't that be nice? Like her little clothes are hanging up over there. What if I put like my vests on that side? Well, I did that and the whole rod fell down, because my clothes are heavier than her clothes, right? So, that was kind of a problem. So I'm kind of leery of putting that up there again, but I would like to, because it would eliminate some stuff up here in the front. In the back, if I were to open that, you would see the tools, because there's a narrow space back there. So I have the workout stuff and the tools back there. And I do want to put a small ladder back there, kind of what Minnie Van Lee does, and then just bungee it all down, call it a day. It doesn't move now. It doesn't fall or anything. So I think if I just slid it in there, it'd be fine. So that's the goal. So that way I can get up, looking only from the outside when I open those back doors. I'm not opening them today because the wind is incredible today, and everything was stuff flying around back there, that curtain and everything, and I'm not doing that. So, yeah, but that's pretty much it. So, I mean, it looks huge, you know, when you see it from other people when they do van life, and it's a way you kind of hold the camera and it, you know, from a long angle shot, and it's like, wow, that looks so big. I mean, this bed is big enough for me. It's definitely a double bed, and just a regular double bed. But Lola gets that entire side with that entire little doggy bed thing over there. She just, I don't know, all of a sudden she's like, I don't want to go in it. I'm like, dog, what is wrong with you? So where that brown blanket is over there, that's like where she can kind of go in. It sinks in. So it was an actual doggy bed. Oh, how do I get on the bed, by the way, is I have a small step stool down here, which, by the way, folds up. So I just, you know, I like these boxes, those long ones that you see. I got those at Daiso. I want to get one more and just put it like right there so there's no loose stuff. I don't like the loose stuff. That's what's starting to drive me batty and kind of get on my last nerve. But I have to go back to Daiso, and I'm not doing that today because I'm already in Bonnie Lake, and that means I'd have to go way out somewhere else. And I'm not trying to go to the somewhere else to go get it. So yeah, and I got to go out that way tomorrow to storage anyway to try to find the internet box that has to be returned, because, you know, it got so that when people were helping me, you know, a lot of stuff just got thrown and pushed and shoved around, and I don't know where anything is. So my friend is coming out tomorrow, and she and I are supposed to go to breakfast, and hopefully, and then start working and just try to find it. I'm sure it's in the second storage that I had to get. I am trying to get stuff cleared out of the first storage, which is the neater storage, and I now have 2 boxes already emptied. So I am going to be doing some giveaways, sell the rocking chair that's in there. It's a big white wooden rocking chair that you put together that Walmart sells for $60. It's on Facebook Marketplace if you guys are interested, and I'm the one that put it together. And it has sat on my porch for about a year, and only my grandson would sit in it and rock a little bit back and forth, or my granddaughter, and that was it. Like, it didn't get a lot of use, so it still looks like new, and it feels like new. So all you got to do is just basically clean it up a little bit, and, you know, so that it's a little more white because it was sitting there for a while, and take it home because it's sturdy, it's not going to fall apart. So I know for a fact that that is a good rocking chair. But where am I going to put it? Like, does it look to anybody like I can put a rocking chair in here? You know, so I'll figure all this out. If you can't go out, by the way, usually go up. That's why I'm thinking that locker idea over here would be fantastic if I could figure that out and just get, that's the guitar sticking up and ukuleles further down. Get those in there because that's all that's in that box. And then, you know how you have hooks on the locker door or magnet stuff on, just put it in there and close it up. And the best thing is if things are closed up, they're not going to fall out, or shouldn't fall out. Let me put it that way. I'm going to kind of hang in this area because I'm going to grab my Chicory 1000 soon, and I'm going to use my mini kind of little pot that you can just plug in, and I'm going to heat up some soup. I'm hungry. I had breakfast and I haven't had lunch because I went over to work in the building here and decorate the lockers for the people and put some stuff in my room that I had from my house. So, yeah, that's what we do. And Minivan Lee is correct, and that you no doubt will change this a few times before you actually settle on, that's exactly what I want. You know, we haven't gotten there yet. So if I had a builder that knew how to put like cabinets all the way across the top, that would have been excellent. But then you got to frame it, and then you got to have the wood, and then you got blah, blah, blah. And I'm not ready for that yet. You know, I just want to get the van paid down, get that bill smaller, and then we can still have some money left over to be able to do that. Get the solar put on the top, and then that way because it's actually sunny today, even though it's cold, the solar could be working, right? and then actually have a heater in here instead of a heated blanket and a heating pad, which is what I use primarily. So yeah, I'm not complaining though. I'm happy with it because I can get around. My house is with me. My things are with me. My family, as you can see, is with me. I keep kind of like showing the pictures just because I'm so proud of my family. But yeah, that's kind of the boys' side. The girls, oh, and I have them in the front too. So anybody that I haven't shown yet is up in the front. So let me go back to the front so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Gotta find that roll of toilet paper. Y'all fell somewhere. I have an extra one. Always have extras. That's toilet paper. So anybody that you don't see there is most likely on that visor. Lola's there, friend there, kids, grandkids there, you know, that kind of thing. So, and I know there's a picture of all the girls together. So, you know, like all the daughter-in-laws, the two daughter-in-laws and everything. So everybody's here. So it's just that, you know, I haven't seen everything. Now look at this one here. And she knocked her, see, this is what I mean. Now how am I going to fix them blankets? How would you fix the blankets? And then I got to try to get up into the driver's seat and swing over that. I'm like, seriously? So, yeah, but she's happy. Look at her. I just took her for another W. She's going to get a cookie soon because she's been such a good girl. She's going to get a special treat. But, and she needs to be groomed because look how long her nails are. But at least I can walk her now. She's had about 3 walks today. She had 6 yesterday. And when she walks, I walk. But see, then she gets tired. Because she's older. Like me. Aren't you? Yes, you are. Oh, you heard that, huh? Well, that's okay. I know. So I'm going to take care of her in a minute. But that's kind of how it works. And then I'm going to go up into the cockpit here. And I have my things on the front. You know, my kind of decorations on the front. That's her pillow, by the way, that's kind of sideways. She keeps messing with it, and then it falls, and then I got to pick it up, and then I got to... no. Dogs are like kids, y'all. They play with their toys, and then you got to pick them up after. So I'll figure out this middle thing. I haven't figured it out yet. But it is something I don't want to keep swinging my legs over that pile. That's just goofy. So we'll figure it out. We really will. But I just wanted to give you, you know, for the 5 days and 4 nights that I'm in here, it's working. It does work. It is a work in progress to make, you know, the little tweaks to make it better. I'm not quite there yet. I know I see some people's vans that look so crowded, and I'm like, well, why? Well, duh, because it's not as big as it looks on the video. You know, on the video, it's like, wow, there's this ginormous bed, and wow, you have all this room. You don't. I mean, let's be practical here. You know, there's an aisle here that might be 18 inches wide. You know, if that. Right? And, oh, which reminds me, I want to get the dustbuster thing, go and clean it up because I spilled dog food already. That's a Target thing. I think I'll go over there soon. I like Target. I like Target now. I didn't used to like Target, but I kind of like Target. So I'm going to go over there and see what I can find so that I can clean this. I have another vacuum cleaner that I got specifically for the car. I could plug it in and use it here, but it's more pieces and attachments. And no, I just want the dustbuster thing because that's all the floor I got. It's not like, here's my leg, you know, my foot. Well, look at, that's pretty much it. That's my makeup under there. My extra makeup. Women, we have too much makeup. That little bit up there and what's in this piano bench over here would have been plenty. But I got on this lipstick kick, y'all, and I probably have 50 lipsticks. I'm not kidding you. What am I thinking? Like, I'm not 50 people. So as I gradually use it up, I'll use another one, and I'm just going to go through it. You know, that's what I'm trying to do with the cologne. I've got a whole box full of cologne because I started getting expensive colognes. That one there is an expensive one because at one time I could afford it. At one time I could never have anything expensive. It was always the real cheap stuff. This one, I think this is one of those Ariana Grande things. But see, it's supposed to look like a crystal. But how do you stand that thing up? You see that little bit that's just left on the bottom? Yeah, that'll be gone soon. When that's gone soon, I'm hearing noises, so I'm peeking. A lot of times it just kind of echoes. There's others inside stitch, but just a couple. And I'm gradually, then it'll be on the outside. And then I'll use that one up. And then I'll bring another one and put it, that's the goal. So, does that bounce around a lot when it hangs like that? No, not really. I don't have a lot of problems with stuff that's hanging. And I don't have a lot of problems with stuff that's nano tape down. Nano tape is a double-sided tape. You get it on Amazon, and I use the super strong one. This stuff just doesn't move. So it's like what they used to call museum, what did they call it, museum putty? In other words, it holds the stuff so it doesn't fall over. And it really works. It does work. It works really good in all weather conditions. It does take it a minute to kind of get settled once you put it on. There's my favorite pillow. Cute. It was the only one left in the store when I was looking at Stitch, because we had just seen the Stitch movie, and Stitch is one of my favorites. So yeah, I do have a little corner down here that I'm starting to gather some laundry. You know, a lot of times when you're in here, guys, you're going to wear sweatpants, t-shirt, long sleeve. I mean, you're not getting dressed up. You're not going to the Taj Mahal for a ballroom dance, you know, or the new ballroom in the White House. So you're good. So in storage, I have some of my fancier dresses, but only like 2 of them. I mean, look at me over here. This was back in the day, you know, when we would be a little fancier, you know, when you'd go out and woohoo, you know, we were kind of like, hey, got it going on. But I'm in a van. Like, I'm not going to be practical people. So you got to think about, how are you going to survive? How are you going to eat? How are you going to go potty? And I love this thing, by the way. I mean, if I can brag about a potty, I'd brag about that one, because it's not a bucket, and I don't have to worry about putting anything. It's like an actual seat that you can sit on, and it's wide enough for your tushy-wishy. And in that hole, I just put a plastic bag, big enough, clear garbage bags that will actually cover that entire thing, including the seat, kind of wrap around. And when I sit on it and then I'm done, I just take the whole thing, twist, knot, and out it goes. So I just emptied it a little while ago, and the bag doesn't leak. The thing stays clean, no smell. I'm not using pellets. I'm not using cat litter. I do use sometimes the adult diapers that somebody had left over, and they said, do you want these? I went, for what? They said, cut them up and put them in there because it'll absorb. Sure enough, it does. And if you don't have that, the paper towel will work just fine. Just fold it up, about 3-4 layers. It'll absorb. And then you do your thing, and you can put another layer over it. That'll absorb what's there and catch anything else that's coming on in. So you're gonna be fine. And it does have a top. The top is over here, this white thing. So when you, so don't think I'm just running around here with that open. So it has a top that actually fits. And I gotta actually put the bag in it, so I'm not gonna clip it. But it clips around the edges, and that's the way it looks. And you can cover it up. I usually have that pillowcase that's underneath it. I have that thing in the pillowcase. But hey, it's just me in here, and I'm gonna use it. So now if you have company and you want to cover it all up, and you want to use that as a seat, then you would move it. It would look a little prettier. My Reflectrix, by the way, is in a bin, all right there. But you're going to have to move stuff to get to other stuff. So just know that this is not going to be a walk in the park, like where you just, it just magically is going to just get to, I can get to it so easily. No, it ain't going to work that way. Now, Minivan Lee, because she has a minivan and she's on the floor all the time, she has these 3-drawer things behind her, the bigger ones, and she just reaches and pulls the drawers out. And then she has her bins. I believe there's 3 of them, if I remember right, the black and yellow ones. And she can go in there, and then she has her garage in the back. We all have our garage in the back, so do I. And I even have a basement, because like I said, with those cubbies underneath there, you can't see them, but with those cubbies underneath there, maybe I should give you a little view of that. Let me turn around. And then I want to get off of here so you're not like, oh my gosh, be quiet, lady. See that? Top of print. That's a top of print. Top of collect. There's stuff under there, and that's clothes under there, and then that's the kitchen stuff under there. So, and I have a Jackery 300 under there as well. So this is totally doable. There's some more. Because those are those cubbies. But you'll always have the cubbies that you don't nail that little board on the back. And so then that has access to underneath the bed. I use it from the other side. And because I bring it from the other side, like I've got the walking sticks under there. I've got the camping chair under there. Because I'm not going to use it every day. You know, I'm over here by my place where I work. I'm not going to pull out a camping chair and go sit next to the van now. You know, go sit outside. If I were at a campground, yeah. And thank the Lord they opened the bridge between here and what's called Enumclaw. I'm just giving you surrounding cities. So if I want to go to Enumclaw to a campground, I can now, and I can actually get through. I also know where to stealth camp in Enumclaw because I lived there in a couple of years. So I know exactly where to go. Puyallup, I really never knew where to go. So yeah, that's another town. And Bonnie Lake, I'm learning. But Bonnie Lake, I feel safer in. And Enumclaw, I feel safer in. Puyallup, not so much. So I'm going to kind of hang in those two kind of cities somewhere out there. I'm not going to tell you exactly where, but I will be out there somewhere. Okay? So just like the little mouse. Somewhere out there beneath the deep. I don't remember the words, but anyway, there's my crumble cookie. I'll get to that later. I know, give up the sugar. I know, because otherwise you get to be tubby wubby. I totally agree with Minnie Van Lee. I did all the exercise on the planet at one time and couldn't lose the weight. Yeah, because your diet, it's your diet, it's your diet. Like, hello. And I got to start eating more protein anyway because of the osteoporosis. So that will actually help my bones. Because once they go cricky cracky, especially if I do anything with my back, there could come a day where I'm in a wheelchair. And I've danced all my life. I've been a dancer since I was 4. And I've been a musician as I got older. So music and dance have always been my life. And I love to walk. I like to go on hikes, not terribly hard ones. Because again, I don't want to fall at my age. But I like going. And it's going to take me a minute to accept all this. But like I said, Jesus literally has my back. So Jesus will have your back too, but get him in your life, because if I'm telling you this, get him in your life and he will be there to help you. Now, I gotta clean up the messy blankets up in the front that my little kid over here made. Look at that. She's too cute though. Like, how do you get mad at that? Like, how do you, or even if you holler at her, how do you stay mad? Like, you can't. She was pulling so hard on the leash today because she, you know, the wind was blowing and she was seeing things flying and she wanted to go chase everything. She didn't want to chase a car that was going down the street. I'm like, she's never done that before. Like, what are you doing? I told her, I said, you're going to get a doggy spanking if you don't stop. She knows she ain't going to get a real doggy spanking, just saying. But, you know, it's like if you say that, she kind of goes, huh? That's how I get her attention, but anyway. So, and I think to make this stay up with the toilet paper roll on top so it doesn't fall off again, so I don't have to go on a toilet paper search right now. I know, life's tough in the big city and little towns too. If I had a pole going down, like we're going to have a pole. No, we're going to put a pole here. No, we're not. If we just have like a stick going down, like even like a broom handle stick, so I can get a Dollar Tree. You know how many I had back at the house? And didn't bring a single one, and the people that moved in, hey, you guys, they threw everything. They threw a brand new washing machine out. This was the worst move I've ever had. I bought and sold houses before, but I tell you, some people. Anyway, so brand new washing machine. It was $1,000 washing machine. I know because I bought it and I paid for it. And now it's in the trash. I'm like, whatever. And they demanded I come pick it up. I'm like, I'm going to strap it to my back and carry it where? I don't think so. So I hired people to get it. There's my hat, by the way, Van Life with Minister Mary. You're more than welcome to have one. That's actually embroidered by somebody that's very good at the embroidery. So it's not going to be a cheap hat. So if you think you're going to get like a $15 hat, that ain't happening. Van Life with Minister Mary. And you're more than welcome to have this. So you see how that 47 is on the side. And then on the back, Aloha Ke Akua. So you guys, that's one of my merch. So you definitely can purchase one for me and just ask me how. It certainly will help to advertise for me. You know, that's what it's for, right? And I'm having stickers made as well, so that it will say Van Life with Minister Mary. I just sent that off to somebody, and then they said, well, the picture wasn't clear enough and we need to redo it, blah, 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 blah. So we got to figure out the blah 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 part. So yeah, I don't give you all the details, it's just a blah 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 part. But yeah, that's the hat. Right now I've got on a winter hat because the wind was so strong I was worried that thing would blow off, and I don't have a ponytail put up and, you know, to kind of hold the hat. So, but that's my favorite, one of my favorite hats. So if you want one, I'll get a price for you, and if you want it a little cheaper, I think I can negotiate a bit. The man that makes them is fabulous, and so I would like to only use him because he's very particular in his work. You will have no threads hanging, you will have no mess. It will be clean. Like when he's done it, he cleaned that hat up. I'm telling you, he spends time. I watched him work. I wanted to see how he did it, or I wouldn't promote it. So yeah, it's really good. Anyway, so I'm going to get off of here. It's been 41 minutes. We went on a grand tour. You got to hang out with me in my house. And that bag can go now back in the studio because I took it out here because I thought I had to teach tonight, but now I don't. So I'm not going to keep it in here because you don't need something to climb over. So I'm just saying. So if you have a storage or a garage or keeping it at somebody's house or something, just don't take everything. You know, like come and get it when you need it. Thursday, I'm going to have to come and get the guitar. I have one in here, but I wanted to use the one that's in the building in there because it has a better case. And it's heavier, though. It's a Takamine guitar, so it's no cheap thing. So, but it stays locked in here where I know that it's protected, you know what I'm saying? Because it's the music studio. So anyway, that's what I got for you. So listen, y'all, if you see a need, fill it. Love one another as the Lord has loved you. I just heard now how it's like so bad in Chicago again. And yeah, I mean, they're threatening, the ICE agents, and the cartel is doing that, and the mayor is not. Like, it's human lives we're talking about here. What the heck is the matter with people? It's like, come on, guys. Now, I don't like to get too political because I know we don't all agree on everything, and that's cool. We can agree to disagree. But when you start threatening people's lives and you're trying to unalive people because you don't agree with them, what in the heck is wrong? That's demonic. You ain't going to convince me otherwise. That is demonic. Anyway, so we leave it at that. If you see anything that looks like a weapon in here, yes, that's what it is. So I have several around. There's one up in the front. There's one in the middle. And they're all different kinds. So, depends which way you want to have a problem. So, but they're around, and I am not afraid to use them if I have to, because look who I'm protecting in here. This is like my kid. Now look, she knocked down all her blankets. Guys, what do I do with this? She's too adorable. But look at it. Everything's like going onto the floor. No, you're not getting on my lap. I know. Can you say hello to everyone? You're just happy to be here. I know. Mommy's with you all the time now. She knows where we used to live, so she always thinks we're going to go back there, and we can't. So, she's going to attempt to get on my lap soon is what she's going to do. She wants to cuddle. Oh, yep, here we go. Here we go. So, with this in mind, y'all, I'm going to lean back. Thank goodness my door is closed good. Yeah. Keeping this in mind, I'm being attacked by a little dog. I'm going to get off of here so I can pay attention to her and maybe fix her blankets if she's a little distracted. I'm probably going to try to put her on the floor and see if she'll let me clean up her bed. You going to let me clean up your bed? Huh? Beautiful girl? Yes, my beautiful girl. This is Lola. If people don't know her name, you should know by now. You hear me probably call her all the time. And she barks at you all the time. But we're being quiet today. Yes, we are. All right, guys, I'm going to get off here. But isn't it so pretty? I mean, the sun is coming out and the sky, right? And this is my favorite time of day in the evening. I love this time. So we're going to heat up some soup. I feel safe here so that I can do stuff like that. I'm not going to stay here, and I'm not going to continue to go in the building because it's not my building. They gave me permission that I could, you know, clean up my room today and decorate lockers today. So I do want to take the bag back in all fairness. But other than that, that's it. I'm not trying to, like, I could use our microwave in there. Easy. But let's not do that. I mean, we got to learn how to be independent, right? So, and it is a little scary. I'm going to, you know, but we're all going to learn. So if you're a pro at this, you got any tips for me, I sure would appreciate that. But I think a dustbuster is something, and a broom handle just to keep the things from toppling over, because I do not know where that thing rolled to. So I'll find it. I'll find it. So I'll talk to you in the next video. Thank you for watching and for hanging out with me. I hope it wasn't just too long and boring. I'm trying to just show you the sights. The sights. Okay, you gonna stay on my lap so Mommy can fix your bed? Because you made a terrible mess out of it. Yeah. All right. I'm going to get off of here. Love one another as the Lord has loved you. Please help one another. Please. If you see a need, fill it. You don't have to agree with everybody. You can agree to disagree. But just because you don't agree doesn't mean you got to hurt somebody. You know, I only know our enemy would do that. And his time is short, and he knows it, so don't believe me, read the Bible. It's all in there. Revelation is really a cool book. All right, if you have any questions, go ahead and send them. Thank you, somebody offered that I could go to a place and stay there for like months. I believe it was in southern Indiana. If I didn't have to work, yeah. But I'm still working part-time. So, because they're going to be out of town, and they're like, do you want to park on the land there? And, oh my gosh, yeah. I know Indiana. We used to always go through Elkhart, Indiana when I was a kid. So, that would be like so cool. And, you know, it's not like one little patch, you know, like a little parking spot. It's a nice place. So, thank you for doing that. And I will take you up on it at another point in time, probably. But right now, I have to work part-time, at least for a while. Huh. Yeah, we do. And then there'll come a time we won't have to. And then we'll just be gallivanting around. And I want to do it while I'm young enough to do it. So, all right, y'all. I will see you in the next video, or you will see somebody in the next video. Or something. See, it looks like a cave again in the next video. But, I'll keep you posted. There's all her little toys. All right, so I will talk to you guys later. Love you all. Aloha nui loa. Mahalo nui loa. And remember, aloha ke akua. God is love. See you in the next video. Bye for now. Aloha.